Hi, it's Johnny from Isaac, and we are back in the Treehouse for another episode of Isaac Chats. And today is a very special one because we are in the new studio for the first time, and we are with friend, actor, and new host, Philip Hill-Pearson. How are we doing, love?
I'm good, yeah, you?
I'm alright, mate. I'm knackered. I'm
What
actually
with all
knackered.
this?
It's just...
In life, in general? Or
Yeah, I think I'm just... No sleep. Not much, anyway. It's just getting quite... It's getting squeaky bum time, I keep saying. So it's getting to opening.
Friday, what are we? 2 nights? 3 nights?
3 nights, so we've got the launch. So yeah, it's quite exciting. But there's still loads to do still. So
It's looking good. You're getting there.
Nice.
Bit by bit.
Good, mate. Well, I thought I'd get you down for a chat. Obviously, you've been here before. You were chatting to Ruby.
Yeah.
Long time ago now. How long ago was that, like?
I think it must have been 2019.
Before World turned off and all that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Before I'd done the Bay. So it was either the back end of, I think it must have been the start of 2019.
And yeah, of course, the Bay all the way back. When that came out afterwards, didn't it? Were you happy with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed, and a lot of people kind of mentioned to me that my character wasn't in the last 2 eps. And I found out the night before the Block 2 read-through, which is eps 4, 5 and 6, and the director just said, look, last minute changes. So the character just seemed to disappear. So I was a little bit like, where's he gone? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
overall, I loved it. And now I think they're on their 3rd series now.
I was going to say, I caught glimpses of the second. It's great. It's got a cool aesthetic. The location, the vibe. It's a cool show. It was really great.
Yeah,
it was
went,
really
it
great.
got a lot of, it was popular. Got
Yeah.
a lot of,
Yeah, it was great. What have you been up to since, my love? I mean, I know there's quite a lot. So let's not kind of roll through it all, but...
probably then not long after that chat, I don't think I'd got the part then. I did the English Game, which was the Netflix one, which originally they told me I was in like 1 episode, and then I were in all 6, so it was great.
Yeah, yeah.
And it were just down the road, obviously from where I'm from, Bradford. It was Saltaire.
It
a lot
looked
of where we
gorgeous
filmed.
as well. It looked
just,
gorgeous on camera. It's Saltaire and all around there, like...
yeah, look, I mean, they do a lot round there, don't they? It is smart.
And we're
It's
at...
older worldy, but we did Manchester and Burnley and Liverpool and all sorts.
We're at Andrew Fellows? No?
Julian Fellows.
Julian Fellows.
Downton
Julian
Abbey.
Fellows, of course. I just watched
Creator.
watched the other night for the first time. Julian Fellows, what he got his Oscar for.
No idea.
Gosford Park. Gosford Park. Here, it's a banger, mate. It's great.
Film?
Yeah, it's a film.
Obviously,
It's
Oscar.
it's great. The cast is unbelievable. It's got like Clive Owen, Helen Mirren. You've got Kelly MacDonald.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a murder mystery that's quite self-aware and fun, but set in like 1800s in a manner. It's got very Downton Abbey vibes.
When did they do that? Is it old?
This is like, I think it's like 2008 or something maybe. But that's kind of like what got him that, and then I'm guessing that progressed on to Downton and so on, and obviously on to English Game.
Yeah, he was the creator with another guy who was called Eddie Charlton, who'd been to Eton. He went to Eton, where obviously one of the teams were from, and Julian Fellows was the writer and creator, but then they had 6 or 7 writers within a team.
Wow.
Kind of took like an episode each, I think, so 6. And it was good fun. Obviously the football, a whole different style of football. But I made a lot of good pals, I had a lot of good fun. I'm still in touch with, James Harkness and John C and a couple of other boys, and yeah, it was good crack, loved it.
Amazing. How did you find doing it fully? Did you get a bit of training? Did you get a bit of time?
Yeah, we had,
prep?
we did weeks and weeks, and then literally like the first day of filming, Ed Holcroft, who was the lead, broke his wrist after about an hour of into the shots, and so we had like 5 weeks off, and then I think we'd done bits of the football, but this was like one of the main games, and then we got another coach, originally it was a guy called Simon, and then we got a guy called Mike came in, and we kind of rejigged some of the football stuff, and they were both brilliant, and yeah, it was good.
Amazing.
Good fun, and well, I did my knee. Obviously, I've done my knee before I did my cruciate ligaments and I'd not fully finished the physio, and I probably should never have really done it, but obviously I did tell them.
Biscuit, innit?
And then literally it was the last hour of the last day, I collapsed and my knee went down, and obviously I'm still at the up again. And
so it's come at a cost. It's come at a cost.
Yeah, but it was good fun. I thought at one point I might have done a second series. There were talk of that, but I think it would have been set way after anyway, so we probably wouldn't have been in it, but yeah, it was
amazing. Good. And Netflix as well. That's a biggie, innit?
Netflix, yeah. First thing I've done that's been, for Netflix, which was
amazing.
It's great, it's Netflix.
Very good. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I came a bit late, but I did it in one sitting, and it was that kind of thing. I just flew through it. And I must admit, at first 20 minutes or so, I thought, I don't know if this is going to be for me, and then I just got caught in it, and I really enjoyed it, and it was good fun.
It's
it
an easy
great.
watch.
Yeah, that's it. It is. It's an easy watch, yeah, and it's sweet. Some nice moments, and like I say, the locations, it looked fabulous.
Yeah, it was good. And then obviously when I was doing that, I got cast in Northwater, which is
the big boy.
Which is a beast, and it's out next Thursday or Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first episode. And then that night, it's BBC Two. It's already out in America on AMC Plus. That night, then they all go on to iPlayer, which a lot of stuff do now, don't they? They just bang them on.
Well, this might go out. This episode will probably go out the Tuesday before.
Nice.
So it'll be this Friday if you're watching it, which would be what, Friday the
10th. Or Thursday. I heard Thursday the 9th, but now I think it's maybe
10th of September.
Yeah.
BBC
2.
BBC 2. Check it out, definitely. Come on, tell us a little bit more, because fabulous. Based on a book, right?
Yeah. Ian McGuire, and obviously when I got the part, I read the book then, which is it's brilliant, and it's Andrew Haigh has written from the book and directed. As soon as he I think he said he was sort of 20 minutes into the book, or maybe a bit longer, he knew he wanted to make it. And I would just, before I'd even got the job, it was one of them that I really wanted it, because I'd seen the names linked. Stephen Graham, Jack O'Connell, Colin Farrell, Peter Mullen. I knew about those four before I'd got the part, and then obviously they just said it was going from Svalbard up to the Arctic Ocean to film. So that all were like, yes please. And I just wanted it. And so I got the call when I were on the English game, said I got it, and that was, out of everything, I think that was the call that I was just most like, get it.
Been waiting 20 years for.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable. And obviously then we flew to Longyearbyen in Svalbard. Everyone says that a little bit different, so I don't know if I've got it right, but which is just quite a strange place, really. There's only a couple of thousand people live on the whole island, and there's lots of little series of islands around. And then we had a couple of nights. I just had one night there, I think, or 2 nights, and then we sailed, and we went for about 36 hours, I think.
Wow.
North, and then we did, first of all, we went to like the glaciers, did some bits there, and then we went further north, still looking for the pack ice, and that's where we did a lot of the seal hunts and stuff like that, and it was just unbelievable.
What a life-changing experience.
It's once in a lifetime, yeah. You know what I mean? It really is.
Polar bears, you see polar bears?
They told us we were going to see polar bears when we were going up. You would definitely see some. And as we were getting before the pack ice, we saw one in the distance through binoculars. And literally as the boat was first coming into the pack ice, we saw a mother and 2 cubs. Cubs, aren't they? The cubs?
Guessing so, yeah. Cubs sounds right.
2 babies. And then the mother saw this boat and kind of started edging backwards, and they were in the distance, you know what I mean? But then the cubs started coming towards the boat, look, the intrigue. And then the mother literally, and they were slipping all over, and so we were all just in awe, just like, what is going on? We're in this fucking, sorry for swearing, but mad place. And they just kept coming, and then the mother were coming around and then pushing them away.
Holy shit.
But then a couple of weeks in, or maybe a week in the pack ice, a couple of us, a lot of people have gone to bed, but a couple of us were in the 2 boats, the 3 boats, but two of the boats were joined. So you could cross over to the different bars, having a beer, and then came over the Tannoy, if you go and have a look over the side. Now you'll see a polar bear, and as we got there, there were only about 10 of us out, so a lot of people were in bed. We were 20 foot away, trying to get the huge ropes that kind of,
Holy shit.
you know, into the ice. It was trying to get at one of them. And
my God.
so we got footage and photos, and then we ended up seeing, you know, 5 or 6 different ones about after that. But
unbelievable. But it felt like Attenborough.
The whole thing was mad. They told us, like, we had this whole team that were there looking after us and ferrying us to the actual set boat, the boat we used. And there were also guards. There were hunters and guards, and they were all with their rifles. But they told us, like, we were the most north any film or TV show's ever been made. Obviously, obviously there's documentaries been far further, but
full, scripted crew cast.
That were it. The furthest anyone had gone. They had some contacts. So the ice kept moving. So we'd wake up and we'd be attached to this piece of ice, but it had moved from the main bit of ice, which was miles and miles worth, obviously. And so we drifted like 7 miles, and so we kept having to go further and further. And at one point, they couldn't find any pack ice, and had to get satellite images from NASA to show where to go.
How the fuck do you get hold of NASA?
Well,
how do you get hold of NASA? Hang on a minute there. Yeah, I got his number.
Yeah, I don't know.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I want to talk a little bit more about it. Like, what about challenges? Like, as in, I think it's important for people to know you had to go move a month away. Your wife was pregnant. You had no signal.
Well, she was, but I didn't find out until the night I got back that she was pregnant.
Holy shit.
So when we first got to Svalbard, we had a bit of signal, and then when we first set off, that was kind of gone, and we got the odd day in the first kind of couple of days, and then it was just gone. They had a satellite phone for kind of those with kids were allowed, so we had a couple of calls, but it's not the same, is it?
No, not really, at all, no. Especially when you're that far away, you feel like you might as well be on another planet.
And we used to kind of FaceTime and all the rest, aren't we, now, where you just want to see your kids. I had lots of photos and videos, the whole thing was a challenge because your body's not used to that anyway. We're not used to being that cold. It's not our home. We're not supposed to be there. We're not made for that place. It's for polar bears, and you know what I mean? It's not for us. So the whole thing, it was freezing. It was absolutely freezing, but it was like me and Gary Lamont are now brilliant mates, but he was my roomie. But that was like, no, I didn't want to do it. Gary didn't want to do it. Yeah. None of us did, and we were sharing. There were only a couple of people that had their own rooms, and like I say, I'm married with 2 kids and used to that, and then all of a sudden,
bunking up.
Do you mind sharing? And luckily, we got on like a house on fire, and we kind of, Gary especially, is very kind of out there, and we called ourselves the host, so we'd go to the bar most nights, and this observation lounge, and we'd have a couple of beers, and we got on that well, we'd laugh ourselves to sleep. And Gary put it right to me, he was like, it's survival.
Yeah.
And we've kind of found each other in a weird way.
That's so
and we
sweet.
just thought, we're just friends for life now.
Makes the journey all that more special, doesn't it? Makes the job all that more special when you make these kind of connections. The
whole cast and crew bonded. We had to, I think. But the cast really became like a real unit. We ate together I didn't make breakfast that much, but lunch, dinner, every single day. And we even made a joke of it, because every single day there was soup, and then all these, like a buffet, but every day everybody were like, how's the soup today? And it became boring, but we ran out of conversation because we were just surrounded by each other in this, out of our comfort zone every day. But it did form a real kind of band of brothers. And I think, Colin especially, kind of, his character is, which you'll find out if you watch, is very dark and brutal and a little bit separate, and he was happy to kind of take himself off, and I think he did that. I mean, he was great, was Colin, he was unbelievable, but he was the only one really that he purposely was like, I can't get involved
It's
in
helping his own motivation.
Yeah, 100%, but
Let's just quickly move on to that. Like you said, the cast is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like some of my favourites, like you've just said, Farrell, man. Ever since I went to pictures to see Thorn Booth, I fell in love with that guy. And then obviously it's Steve Graham.
Yeah.
Like, what's it like working with these big hitters? Like,
well, Steve, I flew over with, and I'd met years before, but we didn't really. I'd worked with years before, we didn't really kind of cross paths. But I just hit it off with him on the plane, and he's just power. This is just an energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it told me, yeah, he is a presence, and he's absolutely on the ball. He's just powerful, menace, but like it's fascinating to watch. And he's great, and he's just, I learned off him, and he told, he gave his advice and tips, and which is what you want. Colin is just the same, unbelievable professional, like one of the most professional actors I've ever met. And I don't really get, or haven't really got starstruck. But every day it's kind of like, that's Colin Farrell. You know what I mean? Literally, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
That's Colin Farrell. And it was one of the only times, and you did get used to it, obviously, but because we were there every day with him. Yeah. And he was, again, very generous, very lovely, very giving, and just, it's an honour to work with, a couple of your heroes.
Yeah.
And obviously Jack O'Connell I'd worked with before, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, Jack, of course, Jack. Holy shit, I keep forgetting Jack's in it.
He's in it. He's just about in every scene. Jack's just got something special for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He always has.
Yeah,
and he's just
ever since his starting days. And you and me talk about it often. One of our favourites, and you put me onto it, Godless, on
great.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, everybody's fabulous, and it's just a fabulous series. Go watch it. But Jeff
Bridges
is
as well,
excellent.
isn't it?
Yeah, Jeff Bridges.
Oh,
it's one of his
so
strongest
good.
performances. As a mini-series, I don't know many better, where it's not like we're not going to run this to ground. We're not going to overplay it. There's a story here to tell, a special one. But it's, what is it, 4 eps? 5 eps?
I think it's 6 or 7, isn't it?
Is it really? I didn't think it was that
But
long.
it looks incredible as well.
It does, yeah.
Which I think this will.
I bet
the same.
I mean, you've shown me a few bits of, drone footage and little bits of a trailer.
I've seen a couple of eps at a screening, and it's a real character-driven piece. So some people might want, it takes its time, which I love. But some people might want it a little bit quicker. But it's a proper actor's piece, proper character piece. The dialogue's incredible, and I've never seen it. Just looks outstanding.
Amazing. You need to ignore all that shit as well. Like, it's funny, isn't it, when a show makes a choice like that. There's people that either love it or hate it, and it's like with Game of Thrones, that was a real big thing at the beginning, wasn't it? It was slow,
exactly.
and kind of like a real character piece, and then everybody loved it. And then when it sped up, when people said it should speed up, they wanted to go back to when it was slow. So it's like, make your fucking mind up here. But like you say, a character piece, something like that. I mean, I'm fascinated by it. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
Well, Andrew described it, the director, Andrew Haig, as it's a 5-hour film. You know what I mean? But in 5 separate parts, obviously. So he's incredible. He knows what he wants, and I think it'll be a success, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Amazing. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should end the chat on, I obviously said at the beginning, we had a chat way before the studio was done, when it was still rubble, about you coming on board on the team to be a host.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited about. You've obviously been doing this, how long? Professionally acting?
Well, did bits of it as a kid, obviously, so that's like 23 years or something that I kind of did my first TV job, but out of drama school, which I kind of count as a second stint, will be 12 years.
There you go, you see, and you've got all that experience. Your CV's fabulous, and I just can't wait to see the energy you bring, your perspective, your just your history and everything, and just tell me a little bit about, what you're hoping to bring, really.
I think it depends who it is and who I'm talking to and going on what they've done and what their profession is. But I always think you never stop. I've said it before, I've said it a million times. You never stop learning as an actor, and I think you learn off other actors, and sometimes you can learn off just what somebody says. And like when I'm teaching at the college, a lot of it is talking, and that's just my method and my way, and I think you can pick something up from just sometimes a bit of information, going, actually I'll try that. And I think what I'm looking forward to is getting other people's views and perspective on the industry, and where I think I've not thought of that. Or even with one thing we've always spoke about is like rejection, and you know, one of the biggest things I kind of teach is how you accept that criticism or that no. And I basically, you know, I say you've got to get on with it, you've got to have thick skin. But then I've had a couple of knockbacks this year, and it's proper got to me, and I've been like, ugh. So it's been how other people then might, what's their advice, what's their kind of, or their way in and their journey, everyone's journey, and all of that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think it's
picking it,
I think it's really rewarding, isn't it, us doing this now, like just chatting away and kind of like talking about what we're doing. It's really rewarding when, like you said, for instance, like working with Colin Farrell and working with Steve Graham, and you being able to pick up on those things. But then when we bring it to the sofa and it's all on camera, you can share those experiences. And like you say, I can't wait to see the people that I talk to, you talk to, we talk to as a group, and kind of like just, you know, sharing those experiences and not only figuring stuff out for the viewers at home, but like you say, it's a journey for us, and hopefully it's a journey for them as well. Just to be kind of like, you know, it's a two-way conversation, isn't it?
Unless you are talking about it, you don't even think about it, do you? You know what I mean? And then unless you ask that question, you might be like, oh, I've never. And a lot of it is just some simple questions. But some of it might be a little bit more, you know, out there and getting them thinking, or even like looking at people's approach. Like I've always said on set, I'm pretty professional. You know, I'm always kind of one of the first there, and all the rest, and I think I'm kind of quite a good boy, and I have to be focused. But then I've done stuff like the English Game with James Harkness, where he just had this energy about him where we just laughed and had fun. But that was that sort of piece where then I could fall into that and be able to do it. Whereas some stuff, you know, if you're doing North Water, some actors would be able to kind of piss around and then go into it, whereas I can't. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's approach, and are they really serious like me sometimes, or are they just much more like,
how does it work,
get on with it, or do they have a method? Everyone's got method. Well, sometimes the method is that you don't know, or you don't know you've got one. You know, but
amazing. Well, from me, I could chat all day, but we've got things to edit, don't we, Adam? And we've got places to go. But from me, I'm really excited to see what the future holds. It's great to have you on the team. We've been lifelong buddies, and I think it's only going to provide a lot of good content, and like I say, be good for us all, really.
I agree. Let's do it.
Spot on. Well, that is it for another episode of Isaac Chats. I hope you enjoyed it on the new set and getting to know our new host. I guess if you want to check out more episodes like this, you can head over to www.IsaacWho.com. I'm Johnny.
I'm Phil.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.